Congratulations, it was a very different second half to the first half. How proud of your team that you were able to keep hold of the victory and a clean sheet as well with 10 men for so long?
Yeah, I mean the clean sheet's important. You know, we've let a couple of softly goals in recently, but I think the lads dug in today and showed, you know, just how determined we are to go and achieve great things this year.
It's not often you see Pep Guardiola making a defensive change to 5 at the back with still half an hour to go, but you do sometimes have to show different qualities in these sort of circumstances. You learn more about your players and your teammates in this sort of...
Yeah, of course. Obviously, it's not ideal going down to 10 men, but you know, the manager's made the changes and we have to adapt to that. Obviously, the game's changed in the second half with the sending off, but it's something that, you know, we have to do. You know, the main thing is getting the 3 points and moving on to, you know, the next game, which is in midweek.
When you looked at that incident for the red card for Rodri, you weren't far away from it. Normally your team is so calm and composed. What happened?
It's just obviously these emotions running high in the game, and he's definitely not a one to start raising his hand, so I was a little bit surprised when the ref showed the red, but you know, I see it in a quick flash and I don't have a replay, so the referee's made the decision. They have to stand by the ref's decision, but as a person, as a human, I don't think he's got that in him.
When you look back at that first goal and your role in it, it was a brilliant assist. It was the second most passes ever recorded in the Premier League for a goal.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you weren't counting them at the time, but what does that say about the quality in this team? We're talking about different qualities in the second half. That's City, isn't it?
No, it's just about obviously being patient. When they've got a low block of 5 and everyone narrow in the middle, you're going to have to move them. You're going to have to get some passes for you to find your gaps. Obviously, Roger's picked me out fantastically well and I've set the ball back to Phil, but sometimes you need them goals. You need them goals just to settle the nerves when it's going to be a difficult game. You know, we've got one in the second half from Merlin as well, and you kind of think, okay, is it going to be 3 or 4? But you know, it's come out, it's a second different game in the second half. Probably Erling should have scored, but they've had some good chances and Eddie's kept us in it with some good saves. So listen, we've shown grit and determination to, you know, to what's needed in the Premier League, and we move on now and we dust ourselves down and get on with the game on Wednesday.
Phil Foden stepped up again, hasn't he?
Yeah, Phil's been class. I think to the back end of last season, he's probably not played as much as he wanted to play, but I think Phil, whenever people write him off, he always comes back and proves them wrong. You have to still understand he's still very young and he's still learning, and he's still going to have, you know, a lot of fire in his belly to go and prove the manager wrong. But as long as he keeps putting in performances like he has done since the start of the season, I don't think he can be dropped. But I'm not the manager, so I don't make them decisions.
Thanks, Carl.
Cheers, thank you.
Well done, mate.
Cheers.
For our resilience and our work, because played 51 minutes, 52 minutes with 10 against 11, so it's not easy, but yeah, we were fantastic in that term. So the way we played in the first half was amazing. So again, it's a difficult side for the physicality, for the pace they have in front. So yeah, recover for the next one.
We want to become a thriving Premier League team that can make a difference in games, and like I said, there's not many times you have opportunity to do that here. And credit, you must say, to Man City, how they defended second half as well. For as good as they are with the ball, they obviously showed a different side today, second half. So we go here, I wouldn't say a missed opportunity, because you got to show respect to the first half and City's play, but knowing that there were some parts of the game where if we do want to grow as a team, we've got to do better.
Phil, thank you very much for talking to us. Firstly, congratulations on yet another victory. That's 6 from 6 in the league.
Yeah, delighted with the performance. I think the first half was brilliant, apart from the last 10 they found us out a little bit, and the second half is not what we expected, because Rodri got a red card quite early and it weren't ideal, but we showed a different side to us today that we had to dig in, and yeah, proud of the team.
You were very close to that red card incident. What did you make of it?
It's hard to say. I've not watched it back yet, but I just seen a little scruffle, and I'm not sure what went on, so I'll have to see it back.
I thought you might say something like that. Keep out of trouble. Very sensible. I must talk about your goal, though, Phil. I mean, it was, I don't know whether you know this, but it was at the end of 46 passes, and that brilliant cutback from Kyle Walker, and I have to say, an expert finish. Beautiful football.
Yeah, I've been building a great relationship, even in the national team with Kyle now. I think we work really well together, and I've not scored yet this season for City, and it's something that I've been pinching myself a little bit with, and I had to keep making the runs and getting in the right areas, and I knew it would come. And thankfully today, I caught the ball well and delighted with the finish. How
hard was it to lift yourselves up again, to re-motivate yourself, having done so magnificently last season?
I think it's not hard with the leaders that we've got in the group, the likes of Kyle, Ruben, and even the manager. They always want more. We're always so determined to keep winning, and I think that just feeds through the team, and everyone feels the passion, and we're going to the field and trying to express ourselves. And I think this year we've had a really strong start, even better than last year, I think. So we want to keep doing that now and keep playing good football.
Yeah, a lot of people discuss what your best position is. What do you think it is?
I think where I played today, on the right wing coming inside, linking the play, I think that's one of my favourite positions to play. So I'm really enjoying where I'm playing at the moment and enjoying my football.
Yeah, you got a big hug from the manager at the end when he took you off.
Yeah, I was absolutely knackered, so it was nice for him to show that reception. Yeah, it's really nice.
Well, thanks very much for talking to us, Phil. Wish you well for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Gary. Take care.
Cheers. All the best to you.
Cheers.
He was terrific today, as of course was Rodri, well, for 45 minutes, and then it all went a bit south for him. It was a mixed day for him.
It was. What we saw in the first half was another demonstration of his wonderful ability in all aspects of midfield play. I think he's arguably one of Man City's most consistent performers.
Oh, definitely.
And in the last 2 seasons, for me, he's probably been the best holding midfield player in the world. But without De Bruyne, there was a lot of chat of who's going to open up defences and stuff, and he showed this part of his game. That is an unbelievable pass, by the way, to spot that ball to Kyle Walker. You never get bored of seeing that goal. This is what he does brilliantly, which is spot danger, put himself in positions where he's always stopping the opposition. But this is what he's also really good at. It's maintaining good possession and getting the team on the front foot when you've won it back. Here, he anticipates where the ball's going to go. He waits. Little bit of cleverness of positional play, gets the flick and they're out again. He's just got an awareness and a elegance about his play. When he's look at his touch forward, through the lines, bum. That is great midfield play, making it look simple but being really productive with your passing. Here, Gibbs-White thinks he's got him, moves past him, no problem, effortlessly. Little poor pass from Foden, but not worry. I'm strong enough, I've got quick feet enough, I'll get us out of trouble. He very rarely loses possession now, and he very rarely loses his head.
Yeah.
And here, I'm really not sure what triggered him, because although it's a nudge in the back from Gibbs-White, there's no need for the hands round the neck. And once he does that, there's really not much he can argue about.
Gibbs-White's collapse,
I agree. But why give the referee an opportunity?
Correct.
I mean, the only person with a smile on his face when he went off was Martin.
Yeah.
And we know why that is.
And he's going to miss the Arsenal game.
Yeah, that's right. No one's played more Premier League games since he joined Manchester City than Rodri in any team anywhere, which shows how consistent he is. And it will be a big man. He missed 3 games now.
Yeah.
And including that Arsenal game, like you mentioned.
Well, Kovacic maybe might come in, Calvin Phillips. Yeah. Big opportunity for him to come in, but they're big boots to fill, aren't they? Because he's been Rodri's been brilliant for them. Such a patient player. He sits out of it, gives you that extra protection in front of the defence while everyone's flying forward.
Yeah, on another positive note for City, Julian Alvarez. You like him a lot. And he reminds you of someone, Martin, you were saying.
He reminds me of Bergkamp because he starts...
High praise.
Well, he starts as a striker and he just sort of wanders into that position and you're wondering, who's going to pick him up? And they haven't missed De Bruyne, which is massive credit to him. It's his intelligence of movement, really, the way he just wanders into that little spot. Always looking for the space, always available, and they'll always find him. And he's always on the half turn, ready just to go forward, looking for the big man up top, who stretches the back line. That's the little pocket. Again, body position. Look, young players should look at this when he receives that ball. Always on the move. Just keeping things moving, intelligent play. I mean, they're playing now at an incredible level right now. If that ball there was a good one, then they might have scored again. Wonderful talents all over. He'll drift out wide, as De Bruyne does occasionally. Look how he just draws in the fullback, opens up the space for other players to run into. And this is Haaland's goal, which is a fantastic goal, finished beautifully. And at this point, they were flying. Again, in that little pocket, just waiting for the ball. Who's picking him up? His timing there is beautiful, just comes onto it, just doesn't quite get the finish. So the technique is all there. It's just a wonderful talent, great purchase, World Cup winner again, looks sideways on. There's the two of them together. He's looking for the big man. He just dissects the defence with that pass and just wanders into the box. Just couldn't sort his feet out quickly enough there, but he's got everything ahead of him. Wonderful talent.
Yeah, most certainly is.
Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant interview with Kyle Walker, who continues his red-hot form at the minute.
Yeah, I think he's been fantastic. He's just getting better and better at all the things around his game. I think that touch today to set up Foden's goal showed that, because normally people say he's not that good in the final third, but that shows there's another side to him, because it's a hard challenge to do what he did. All he did was take this thing out of the ball and make sure it was in the right place for Foden to run on and obviously get a clean strike from it. And the movement off the ball was fantastic as well.
Yeah, as we all know, pace is his main strength, is Kyle Walker's, but to have the wherewithal, I suppose, to cushion this pass for Phil Foden after what was an incredible team build-up.
It was a fantastic team build-up. Like I said, he got there early, so he had time to calm down. But once he just leaves his leg there, and I'm not going to try and count all these because, like I said, it's moving way too quick.
46 in the end.
Yeah, but it was fantastic movement. Doku does well when he comes inside and gets it to Rodri at the end. And then Kyle Walker's run when he actually sees it. But you can see they're just moving that shape around to get to where they got to in the end. But it's fantastic play from City. It's a great team goal.
This is amazing, that the patience, isn't it? Like Kyle Walker said, is we're waiting for the moment that Tavares switches off and the moment where him highlighted there can get into that space. But it's a brilliant ball from Rodri in behind. And then, like you said, just cushions it back for Foden, who spins in. And even for Walker, everyone else will think he's going to put it across the goal, so they're running towards it, and then he kind of falls in with that drop back because they're all going to probably keep their eye on Haaland. But it was just a patient, lovely build-up of a goal from City.
Yeah. 46 passes, as we said earlier, the second longest sequence since records began in 2006, 2007. I suppose for Pep Guardiola, that's the ultimate goal for him, isn't it?
As many passes as possible for a goal, yeah. Because I was speaking to you about it, wasn't I? I was like, do you reckon they do loads of defensive training? And you're like, no, they just, defence is how you keep the ball. So if you keep the ball, the other team can't attack, so that's your defence. So, I mean, keeps control, nice build-up goal. It did flip the second half, as we know, but I think he'd be overall happy, Pep Guardiola.
Erling Haaland's already got his 8th league goal of the season. We're only 6 games into this season. I think last season's total could well be eclipsed. But they made the most of regaining possession there.
Yeah, I mean, again, clearance from Forest is poor, but this is brilliant there. Just hang it up round the back post from Nunez, and again, look, poor clearance, but it's the combination play. Look, little over, it sees Foden, then Foden slips him in, and then just dink it to the main man who's just going to head it in. And he's missed a couple today, but he wasn't going to miss that one. You know, it is his bread and butter, as we speak about, power, and just get it on target, and 2-0 really.
His hanging time's impressive.
I can do that. No, he was up there.
Put yourself in the same bracket as him.
I want to see this.
I'll show you in the green room. No, it's fantastic. The way he steps, he leaves Bolly and everybody else to go towards the ball, and he takes like 2 steps back almost. He knows that the ball's going to be hanged up, and once it's hanged up, he's just got all the time in the world to place it back across the goalkeeper where he come from, which is next to nearly impossible once the keeper's gone so far that way.
So City in cruise control going to the second half, 2-0 up, but then they make life slightly difficult for themselves. What was Rodri thinking here when he squared up to Morgan Gibbs-White, Sean?
You know what? I think Walker hit the nail on the head in his interview. I've never seen Rodri as this type of player, or wouldn't expect it. So I gathered something got said. But with that all said, you can't do what he's done. As much as I'd love to defend him, I can't. You can't put 2 hands around the throat. But Karen highlighted something. From this angle, it actually looks like the second one's not his hand.
It might have been Foden, but you can't see it from this one, but the other one. I mean, Rodri's definitely got his hand around his neck, but I think, yes, he's lost his cool, but there's a bigger picture here for Rodri now. How many games he misses in the build-up for City. That's a thing where I think Pep Guardiola would be like, yeah, we're winning this game, it's not ideal, but what are the consequences for losing my most influential player, really?
Yeah, that is his first career red, incidentally, and you allude to the importance of the games coming up. He misses Arsenal away at the Emirates Stadium, and we know that's going to be a huge game, albeit at this early stage of the season, but he's been one of their standout performers so far.
He has done for me a number of years. He's the thing that makes City tick, especially playing out from the back.
How big a blow is that to miss the Arsenal game?
Massive. it's massive. But I think at the same time, where those situations happen, it's a chance for somebody else to maybe step out the shadows and show that they are capable of filling that role, or if anything does happen, being able to sit in there and do the job that they need to do.
Yeah.
I think, it gives Pep a chance to maybe even mix something else up, because if Rodri was available, Arsenal would expect that. Again, you would never be surprised with a curveball with Pep now if this has presented itself.
But for Forest, one quick word. Disappointed they didn't get at City when they were down to 10 men as much?
Yeah, when Man City go to a back five, you're thinking, well, they don't go for it. You had nothing to lose, and I thought with the subs coming on, I thought they would have had more of a go. So I was disappointed in the second half with them.
Team goal, like you said, there was a lot of passes in the build-up. I thought Kyle made a good run, and the set was perfect for me. On another day, you can easily drag them as well, so I'm happy for it to go in the net, because I think I needed that. I needed a goal for the confidence, so yeah, feeling good.
There's not many times you come to Man City and have a real opportunity to threaten the box as many times as we did. So I'm a bit unsure how I'm feeling about that at the moment, because, like I said, not many teams can come in and do that. And I know it's 10 men, but still, it can games can not change so much after a red card. So I'll probably take a step back and look. I know the team is improving, and I know that we're on the right path. But at the same time, when you're on that path, you've got to be making the most of opportunities.
I will have to say I didn't expect red card in the second half. I don't want red cards. We spoke in the half time. Be careful, be careful, be careful. What is going on the last 15 minutes? Be careful. And we fell now in the trap. And after, you have to adjust. We cannot complain.
Well, I guess there's only one place to start, and that is Rodri's red card. It's his first career red. Very out of character for him, Tim.
Yeah, it was. Obviously, literally. You see there, he gets knocked over there by Gibbs-White. That's what riles him. And then he tries to outmuscle him again and shows the strongest. And he just raises his hands. I don't like the reaction from Morgan Gibbs-White. I really don't. I think he'd be a little bit ashamed of when he sees that back. This is all okay. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And then he just lifts his arm there to his throat, which you can't do. And unfortunately, he gets a red card, and I think there's no way that's going to get overturned.
One thing that is crucial about this is the games that he misses, and he does miss a very big game, and that's against Arsenal. How crucial could that be?
Well, you could argue outside of Haaland, he's probably their most important player.
Yeah.
You scored obviously the winner in the Champions League final. He's easily their most consistent player.
Yeah.
Every game he gives you an 8 out of 10. I can't think of another player in the league that is as consistent as Rodri. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the world of football, the best in his position. So he's a huge miss for Manchester City in that game against Arsenal. Once he took his hands off his neck straight away, he realised, what have I done? It's not like him at all. So, no, he saw red, and saw red twice, I guess.
Yeah, he did. Well, that said, Man City continue their imperious form. It's now 6 wins out of 6. They're the only team in England's top 4 leagues to have not dropped points so far this campaign. They've picked up from where they left off last season. So let's look at Foden's goal. What's really special about this, and we love it, is the 46 passes in the build-up to it, Tim.
Yeah, the build-up, mesmerising. You switch off as a team, but when Rodri finds this pass to Walker, that pass just strokes it into his... And that layoff there from Kyle Walker is outstanding, and the finish, it got what it deserved. I mean, the move, that pass there from Rodri, the weight of pass and the trajectory of the ball in behind the fullback, that is delicious.
But normally you'd say 46 passes, you'd say about 40 of them are nothing. The one from Doku and then the one from Rodri and then the set from Kyle Walker, they're all quite tough passes. But I mean, that's a stunning goal.
And look, when you look at the most passes leading to a goal in Premier League history, it's second on the list. It's just beautiful, but that's just what Manchester City do, isn't it?
Was that my one? Nasser Chadli, I think, maybe, possibly.
Was it, yeah?
No. It was Pochettino. It was Pochettino.
Was it?
It was.
You sure?
I think it is. Well, that's according to my stats guy. We'll revisit that in a moment.
I'll give it to Poch.
We'll give it to Poch for now. We'll find out. Well, look, Erling Haaland, he got his goal. That's now 8 across the season.
How many is he going to get? That's what I'm wondering.
That's a good question.
I mean, he's just a machine. I love this. Even his headers are like aggressive.
Yeah.
It's everything about this goal is beautiful as well.
Yeah.
Proper City goal, but Just the way Haaland heads it into him, it's like
it's incredible. But we're trying to
break the ball.
We just watched Man United. We talked about patterns and movement. Look at them running off the ball. You know, the interchange of the connection between the players and the header is just exquisite. But as soon as that comes across, you know that's ending up in one place. Inevitable outcome. Takes it back the way it's come from. Look, great header from Pep as well.
It's really interesting, though, because at the end of last season, having won the treble, I think everybody kind of thought, how easy is it to go again? Now you've both won a title. How hard, how easy, what is it like to go again the next season? Because they're making it look quite easy right now.
Well, to play in a top team, obviously, you got to win a trophy. And then, but you got to go do it again. So obviously some players get more confident. Other teams, I'm not saying, you've seen them where they they celebrate a little bit too much. But you got to go straight away again. Pep demands that. If you're not going to do it, you won't play. Haaland, we can tell he has that mindset. I think
I think it's all down to the manager. I really do. I think it's the drive, what he gives him. He's not accepting. He don't want us to go and finish in the top 4. It's Pep Guardiola who's used to lifting silverware every single year. So